Hi there. We want to show you the different levels of data access and administrative access as you are setting up your team, your teachers, and your administrators to have the appropriate access to Ready Rosie. At this point, if you're starting the implementation process or you're starting a new school year, you probably have been sent by our implementation team a Google Sheet like this, which is asking you to fill out all of your schools, the teachers or administrators associated with those schools, their email, and then their admin role. So to help you walk through this process, you can hover over the admin role and it talks you through the three distinct roles we have. We have a teacher, a school admin, and a district admin. And they're distinguished by two things: the functionality of that role, what can they do with that admin access? And secondly, what access to data do they have connected with them? So this is what we're calling them: teachers, school admins, and district admins. But understand that with Head Start programs or other programs, there might be a unique way in which you want to give different types of folks, like family service workers, for instance, different levels of access. And that's fine. We just want to make sure they fit into one of these categories. So we want to quickly go over what these categories are. So first off, a teacher, functionality-wise, this is a person who can create classrooms or groups. They can invite parents to join Ready Rosie, keep track of those parents, and customize content and push out custom playlists for those parents, and then see the data they have access to is those families that they have invited and connected to one of their classrooms. So that's a teacher. That could be a teacher, that could be a family service worker, that could be anyone who's going to be on the front lines managing it from that perspective. Secondly, there's the school admin role. This is typically understood as a principal or a district or a site director, perhaps. They don't have much functionality in terms of inviting families or creating custom content, but from a data perspective, they have access to being able to see the data associated with all the teachers and all the caregivers that are connected to Ready Rosie at their school or site. So whatever school you would happen to give assigned to that person, if you had multiple teachers at Ready Rosie Elementary, Johnny Johnson would be able to see the data associated with each of those teachers and then all the caregivers associated with that. Then finally, you have kind of this super admin access through the district admin role. Again, from a functionality perspective, this person isn't creating classrooms, they aren't sharing custom content, they aren't inviting parents. But from a data perspective, they see all the data associated with all the teachers, all the caregivers, all the schools underneath their purview as a district admin. This is usually the person who's kind of managing Ready Rosie at your district. Maybe there's an administrator that makes sense to give access to. So those are the three levels. So you're going to have teachers engaged. You might be the district admin person. School admin's great because if you've got principals, perhaps, maybe they're not that involved with Ready Rosie yet, but it would be great to give them insight into how this is being utilized. This might be good to go ahead and give them that access. They get a little bit more buy-in, access to what's going on, and hopefully that's motivational for them as they are managing the teachers at their particular school. To show you what this looks like, I'm going to switch over here to the various roles so you can see it. Let me get to Ready Rosie ISD. And so I'm going to start with the teacher role. So again, if you think about this as they have certain functionality, the teacher is able to go in, create their classrooms, add as many groups or classroom as makes sense for that teacher, and categorize all their families accordingly. Once they're in that classroom, they're going to have the functionality of being able to add students and parents and invite them to join Ready Rosie and have all access to the data associated with the parents that are connected to their classrooms that they've created. Then the other big data feature they have is the ability to go in here and create custom playlists to be able to send to whatever classroom or group of classrooms that they've created. This is how they send custom content to the parents. And so they have a very robust set of features from a functionality point of view as teachers, because they're the ones on the front line usually managing this. So that's a teacher perspective. Data, they see all the parents associated with them that they've added to their particular classrooms. If I go to a school admin access, this then shows you everyone that's connected to my elementary school or whatever site or campus that I happen to be a director or principal for. I'm going to be able to see all the teachers associated with that and all the data associated with each one of those. So as I'm going through, for instance, as a principal, I'm trying to help encourage my teachers as they're getting up to a deadline for inviting all their families to join Ready Rosie. I can quickly go and see how many caregivers are associated with each of them. And can take action accordingly and appropriately. So caregivers, then they have access to all the caregivers, again, connected to that particular school who've been invited by those particular teachers. So school admin, access to all that data. And then finally, there's district admin. This is kind of the super user who has access to all the data for everyone in the entire school district. So if we had more than one school associated with Ready Rosie ISD here, you would see all those schools listed. You could go to see the dashboard of that school. You can then see all the teachers associated with that particular school district. Again, to help you run reports every step of the way, you get to download a CSV file of this as well. So hopefully this is helpful to give you some insight. Check back with your implementation team who's been helping you get started with Ready Rosie. We'd be glad to walk you through this, but hopefully that helps as you're brainstorming, how do I want to categorize my various staff members and team members and teachers and administrators to give them the access they need. And so this is the step for us getting them that access, and we'll get them plugged in. If you have questions, let us know. Support@ReadyRosie.com.